There were a number of historic victories in this midterm election, including, have you heard this? The first two Muslim women elected to Congress. Democrat Rashida Tlaib, we did a story on her, won a seat in Michigan's 13th district. Congrats to her. And Democrat Ilhan Omar triumphed in Minnesota's 5th district with 78% of the vote. Go you. Omar will be the first Somali American and the first woman of color from Minnesota in the House of Representatives. She joins us now from Minneapolis for her very first interview as Representative-elect Ilhan Omar. Shall we say Congresswoman Omar? How do you like the sound of that?
Sounds really amazing. How are you? Good morning to you, Gail.
I am really good. What message do you hope that your victory sends this morning to the country, other than that you're a bad mamma jamma? What do you want us to get out of this?
That it's a beautiful morning. It's a new start. You know, here in Minnesota, it's a cold state, but the people have warm hearts, and we don't just welcome immigrants, but we send them to Washington. So it's a beautiful morning.
You are also the first refugee elected to Congress, and I know you've done a lot in your state to help refugees. Is there a message you hope to bring to Washington when you represent your district in Congress?
Yeah, you know, it's going to be a really great opportunity for me to represent the values and the interest of people in the 5th. We have a huge community here who is very much invested in making sure that Minnesota and our whole country is a welcoming place for refugees and immigrants. And I hope to bring a unique insight to the lives and the struggles that refugees lead and the kind of opportunities and hope they're looking for once they come here.
What is a top legislative priority for you going forward?
So here in the 5th, while we were campaigning, we heard all the time how unfortunate it is really in this country for people to have to file for bankruptcy because they get sick. We hear all the time from students who are struggling with the shackles of student debt. And we are hearing from working families across our district who are feeling burdened by the fact that this economy isn't fully working for them and our politics and policies are centering them.
Ilhan, what is your view of President Trump? There's a lot of questions about whether new Democrats coming to Washington are going to be anxious to work with the president, or whether they feel that the way he talked about the caravan or other issues created the conditions to make America different than they would like to see it. What's your view?
Our founding fathers really created the Constitution so that we have different branches of government that are designed to be a check on themselves. And my hope is that the new Congress is going to serve as a check to the rhetoric of fear and division and destruction, and make sure that we are moving the country in the direction that the people have asked us for, in a direction that is more hopeful, inclusive, and prosperous for all of us.
Ilhan, there's never been anybody like you from your district going to Congress.
Or in Congress. Yeah.
Or in Congress, exactly right. So I'm curious, what made you think you could do it, and what made you want to do it?
So when I was coming to this country, I heard about its promises, and it wasn't long before I arrived that I noticed that a lot of America's promise wasn't extended to everyone. And as I would complain to my grandfather, he would say, every progress this country ever achieved came about because people were willing to do something to make that progress happen. And so I knew early on that if I wanted a different kind of neighborhood, a different kind of city and a state and a country, I had to be part of doing that. And in this time, in our nation's history, I couldn't sit on the sidelines and not be part of a group of people who were insisting on a set of values that got us closer to the America we know we can have and the America we know we deserve.
Well, your message resonated. 78% of the vote. That's pretty good. Congrats.
And Congresswoman-elect Omar, thank you so much for being with us, and welcome from the sidelines on to the field.
Yes.